What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? It's the one and only Optipotamus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Netflix Transformers War for Cybertron Voyager class Hotlink. Now, with a lot of these new Netflix figures, the majority of them are just repaints. And that's certainly the case here with Hotlink. But the difference is, while a lot of the other characters, Sideswipe, Mirage, all of those ones got a different paint job, they were still those characters. Hotlink here is actually a different character. For those of you that don't know, Hotlink was a part of the original welcoming committee on Cybertron. For the package, much like all of these new Netflix figures, it is a primarily white package with an open window there. Of course, you got the Transformers text with the Generation logo, and then of course the Netflix original series logo right there. That open window fully showcases his figure as well as his two additional little guys. We'll touch on that here in a bit. You got an image here of him looking really all smirky, which absolutely looks terrific. Come around to the side, that has that black, white, and red image that we saw with the Transformers Siege packaging, where it's the Ark taking off from Cybertron, but obviously the color's a little bit different. Come around the back, and this is where you see that he transforms in 22 steps. You got images of him in his robot as well as his vehicle mode. You can see that he is in the Tetrajet form, which fits perfectly because the welcoming committee were Tetrajets. They never went to Earth and took on Earth modes. So this is perfect. And then you see his two additional little buddies are Heatstroke and Heartburn. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Hotlink opened up out of his packaging and obviously in his Tetrajet mode. And first and foremost, he does come with this little insert. You can see him right there with his little smirk going on, the Decepticon thing. The thing that sucks is that's it. He does not come with that Collect and Connect Teletran one piece. Neither of the Voyagers do. So I think that's just the deluxe thing. I haven't gotten Ultra Magnus to know whether or not he comes with one, but kind of disappointing, to be totally honest. I thought that all of them would have it as kind of like a little pack-in of sorts, and I was disappointed when I opened it up and it wasn't there. But here he is, obviously Tetrajet form. We'll get into him in a little bit, but he does come with these two little guys. They are identical, but it is a slight redeco of Blowpipe. The reason that he comes with these is that Hotlink is a part of the welcoming committee. We got the Rainmakers, but the welcoming committee were a different group. Now, I want to show you this. This is the welcoming committee. Here is Hotlink. We got Sunstorm and Bitstream. But as you can see, they had like these little light bluish flamethrowers. You can really see Hotlink actually using it there. That's what this is meant to homage. You can even see that they gave him the blast effects to kind of homage the fire. So that's actually kind of cool. Guess it really doesn't matter which is which. One's, like I said, Heartburn, one is Heatstroke. But they are, from what I can really... Oh no, I apologize. They are a little bit different. You do have the blast effect thing. If you have any of the other ones, this one I think looks a little bit better, honestly. You can plug it in there. It's a little bit more of a straight line than this guy is. So, I mean, this is a little bit more translucent. This is a little bit more opaque. I guess it's personal preference, I guess. But if you have any of those blast effects, it is compatible with it. To transform him, you want to detach the arms from the side, take the legs, untab those. Those get in there really securely. Pull that on like that, and then you want to take the hip section, rotate that around, and you will take the gun portion and bring that all the way back. So here's a Heartburn, I guess. Let's call this one Heatstroke. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna look at the package because actually I believe it does specifically mention who is who. So let's pull this apart, rotate the hip down, bring that down, bring that down. Now, let's see. Yes, indeed. Okay, so he is Heatstroke. He is Heartburn. The way that you can tell is the actual visors are colored. Everything else is identical. The light blue with the other light blue, the Decepticon logo, the little gunmetal gray right there. But you can see yellow visor, red visor. That's how you can tell the difference. Everything else, though, is the same. But that's kind of cool that they did differentiate it a little bit to create, you know, two different characters of sorts. That's really cool. I did not expect that, and that's a nice little additional touch. Now, coming in to take a look at Hotlink, it is that Tetrajet mode. We've seen it several times. Let's bring in the Rainmakers. These are the Cybertronian forces, so that's why I have these guys out. Although Bitstream does look a little bit more like this than what the BotCon exclusive labeled it. I mean, that whole thing was all sorts of confusing because BotCon in 2013 released a 3-pack of Rainmakers, but it was actually the Welcoming Committee. They've subsequently said that they made an error in naming them the Rainmakers. But like I said, this kind of looks like Bitstream right there, and the toy was a little bit more teal of a color, so maybe we'll get something like that in this, and we can, you know, swap things out. But you can see, same basic thing. The biggest difference is these guys had all these splotches of dirt and grime on there. These have that as well, but much like the other War for Cybertron Netflix figures, the paint detail on here is fantastic. The fade is absolutely gorgeous. You got a little bit lighter of a tone that goes to more purple and then black. It is asymmetrical, which is nice. You can see that it goes on a slope there, so you have more of that dark black right here. You got a couple of those little lighter gray bits right there in the front of the nose, but then the other side has a nice purple color, so you can see it's not symmetrical, which looks fantastic. All the way around, the color is absolutely gorgeous. The back section is what it is. We all know that that's probably the ugliest part of the vehicle mode. Well, maybe in addition to these bits that really don't kind of do anything, they just kind of hang out, but love the way that he looks. Now, getting these guys out of the way. As you can see, he does come with the null rays. You can take these guys if you wanted to, and you can plug them in there. I mean, if you really so desire, or with the blast effects that they come with. Because honestly, he was only holding one in the cartoon, so you really only need one, unless you're gonna not get one with Bitstream or whatever. I mean, but you can take this, and you can plug those obviously right in there. You can use that as a blast effect in his guns. I don't know exactly what we're gonna get with, you know, like Sunstorm or Bitstream, if we're gonna get the rest of them. I would imagine that we are, because they've already done the Rainmakers, they've already done Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream. They've already used this thing a number of times. You gotta believe that the other two members of the Welcoming Committee will be added at some point. And like I was showing here with the picture, Bitstream's holding one. Sunstorm kind of looks more like he's just shooting his null rays more than anything, more than like the flame thing. So I don't know how they're going to incorporate that, if they're going to have the other characters come with guys like this as well. I feel like that would be completely overkill. Maybe by giving us two with this, they can have an individual release of Bitstream, and you can have one of these guys go with him. Who knows? Either way, super cool. Now, I did show the transformations on these guys because I never did it before, but transformation on him is identical. We've seen it several times. I'm going to go ahead and skip it, but if you need any help whatsoever, I'll make my playlist available where you can go there, check out my review of any number of these different molds, and get any help that you may need. But utilizing some of that good old-fashioned Optibotimus movie magic, we're going to go from Hotlink looking like this to looking like this. And again, absolutely gorgeous paint detail on him. The mold, I've made no secrets about. I've loved it since we first started getting it. I think it's really very cool. All the molding is identical as well. The only thing that you're really getting that's different is the paint. The fade that they incorporated here is fantastic. Going from a darker color almost perfectly into a lighter color. They do that throughout the entire body. And again, that asymmetry carries over here. For example, you can see that you got some purple around this air intake that you don't have on this. And it's a lighter color as well. I mean, everything just is great. And I don't even know, I mean, I don't know why they need this orange underneath here. Maybe just to give it a lighter color on the other side. But I mean, why is that there? I have no idea. But it looks great. He does have a little bit, well, no, he actually doesn't. I thought he had a bit of a smirk. I mean, oh no, I guess kind of, it's hard to really tell. No, it doesn't look like it's a smirk. It's just that frown of sorts. That's kind of unfortunate. I thought they would have put that smirk that we got on the package on him, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm not too terribly upset with it, but I mean, gorgeous color throughout the entire thing. I mean, obviously, this is the majority of the jet mode, or tetrajet mode, I guess. So you're seeing a lot more of the kind of body here that you really didn't see before. There's not really any kind of fade on his null rays. It is just in that kind of gunmetal color. Still looks really good, but you obviously can take this guy, transform him up right quick, connect all of this, bring that around, and, well, do it right, Paul. There we go. Slot that all in there, and you can take him, you can take one of the blast effects, and again, I mean, it's meant to replicate that flamethrower that he used, so you can do something like that, which is gonna look really cool. I mean, you're gonna have that little guy right there. I mean, that's going to be a cool look. It nicely, like I said, homages that original cartoon and really does, and even rotate the wrist around there. I mean, get a little bit better look. I mean, that really does look neat. And the added articulation with like his shoulders here really do help things out to display really nicely. Here, let's put this guy over on this side, just kind of have him hanging out there. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Now, for the comparisons, let's bring his buddies out. No, I mean, in terms of his Rainmaker buddies, because like I said, this is part of the welcoming committee. I mean, this was what I was talking about with Bitstream. I mean, he kind of looks like Thundercracker, just a little bit more, or really a little less in terms of the colors that Bitstream had, like the red. Bitstream looked a lot like Thundercracker, let's just be honest. I mean, obviously Hotlink here looks a lot like Skywarp, so I mean, it's a matter of personal preference, but I mean, I love having these. I mean, this is really, for me, very fun. I think that they did a great job with them. They had to have had the idea in their mind about doing the Tetrajets and then being able to do all of the different Cybertronian factions that utilized it. So here you have them with the Rainmakers. Absolutely great to display them with them. And like I said, we really only need the other two. And for the life of me, I can't imagine why we wouldn't get them. Now, for these little guys, articulation is just, you got a ball joint here for the shoulders. You can move that kind of however you want. The legs are also on ball joints, so you move those forward and back. So very limited for the articulation on him, but, you know, at least you have some. The rest of his articulation is the same. Ball joint here for the head, swivels, hinges going in and out, rotation here at the bicep. You got two bends at the elbow. These are a little bit loose in them. They're not terribly bad, but that's like a common problem, really. You got a waist rotation. You got hips that move forward and back, in and out. You got a swivel at the upper part of the thigh. Nice deep bend here. As part of the transformation, you got that section that collapses inward, so you can go all the way up to his butt if you wanted. And then, of course, you got a little bit of ankle tilt to give a wider stance with it. Overall, I mean, for me, who loves having all these characters, this is a great one to add to your display. Now, whether or not this is going to be something for you, I don't know. I mean, it is a very, I don't want to say niche character, or niche character, however you say the word. But it was, he was seen one time and that was it. But as somebody like me, I wonder if you can take these little things and, no, you can't really plug those. That would be kind of cool if you had like cannon shooting out of his chest. So for somebody like me who likes having all of those different variants, I love having this. I mean, you can probably see that with the Seekers or the Rainmakers as well. I think that they're great to have, at least for my personal collection. Now, you don't have to get them, but one thing that I do like about Hotlink here as opposed to any of the other characters is that those are still those characters. They just have a different paint job. I mean, like, Megatron is still Megatron. Ultra Magnus is still Ultra Magnus. Sideswipe is still Sideswipe. As far as we know, Mirage is still Mirage. Hotlink is a different character. So, again, that works for me. So, without a doubt, I would recommend picking this guy up. If you're into him, he's well worth having. But, all that being said, here at least in North America, he's exclusive to Walmart stores. And the new Netflix figures are hitting now, so if you're looking for them, good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate if you would do one small thing for me, and that's simply just to hit that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons, who through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you would like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/optibotimus. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.